Welcome to the Expect Success Podcast, a presentation of GeorgeBollick.com with your host, George Bollick. This podcast is for all things personal development. Don't expect success, prepare for it. Please welcome your host, George Bollick.
Welcome to Expect Success at GeorgeBollick.com. Now, in addition to listening to our podcast, you could also view the video format on YouTube at GeorgeTube.com. Jim Kwik is a world expert in speed reading, memory improvement, and optimal brain performance. He's the CEO and founder of Kwik Learning, a leader in accelerated learning with online students of every age and vocation in over 150 countries. Jim's cutting-edge techniques and impressive mental feats have made him a highly sought-out brain trainer for top entrepreneurs and organizations with clients that include Virgin, Nike, GE, Fox Studios, Harvard University, and Singularity University. Now today, Jim is going to share with us the routine he uses and we can use to stimulate and activate our brains. Here's Jim.
I could grant one wish. What would you wish for? Learning how to learn. Because if you could learn how to learn faster, you could learn anything faster and you could apply it towards everything else. I really think habits are important because first you create your habits and then your habits create you. Now everybody has their morning routine, right? But mine are really focused on activating my brain power. Every single one of my habits, my routines in the morning are meant to really jumpstart my brain so I could jumpstart the day. And so here are some of the things I do every single morning. I wake up in the morning, the very first thing I do is I remember my dreams. The reason why you want to remember your dreams is because some of the most incredible inventions and works of art and literature came from the dream state. Mary Shelley created Frankenstein in her dream. The periodic table came in a chemist's dream. So what are you dreaming about late at night that you're forgetting in the morning that could be solving your biggest challenges in your life or in your business or things that you want to be able to learn? The second thing I do is I make my bed. The reason why I make my bed and why is that good for your brain is because you want to start your day with excellence, because how you do anything is how you do everything, as you know. And so you want to start with a win because it's the science momentum, because your brain likes to build on success. And it's also good because when you come back at the end of the day, you come back to your bed ready made, which is coming back to success. The third thing I do is I brush my teeth. You're like, so what, Jim? Everyone brushes their teeth. But I actually brush my teeth using my opposite hand. By using my opposite hand, it actually activates different parts of my brain because as your body moves, your brain grooves. The next thing I do is I take a tall glass of water. Why do I do that? Is because your brain and your body is 70% water. So I want to super hydrate because you lose a lot of water while you sleep. Next thing I do is I take a shower, but I take a cold shower. I mean, it is ice cold as it gets. You're like, Jim, I loved you up to this point, but the reason why you take a cold shower is to lower inflammation. It like resets your nervous system, resets your brain because driving energy, mental energy to clearing brain fog is to lower inflammation. And one of the best ways of doing that is by taking cold showers. From there, what I do is I make a brain tea. And what's in my brain tea? I make it with gotu kola, ginkgo, I put some lion's mane, I like honey, I feel like that's good for me, and I also put some MCT coconut oil to help me to absorb it better. And while I'm drinking that brain tea, I journal. And what am I journaling that's activating my brain? I start with gratitude. Gratitude rewires your brain. And it helps you to activate more of those flow states. Flow states is a state of optimal performance where you feel your best and you act your best. And what puts you into that alpha state, that relaxed state of awareness, that theta state where you're most creative, a lot of it, what keeps you out of it is these negative emotions. So forgiveness and gratitude go a long way. Self-love and self-care is not selfish. After that, I do some exercise because there was a study done at Appalachian State University saying exercise obviously is good for you, but what time do you exercise? They tested people at 7 a.m., at 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. And they found that by far, those who exercise at 7 a.m. had better sleep. So they have better performance by exercising in the morning. And you don't have to do your full workout, but you need to exercise for a few minutes because anything that's good for your heart is going to be good for your head, meaning your brain, because it's more blood flow. And that blood flow is carrying oxygen. And so after that, what I do is some deep breathing, right? I do some fire breathing, my fire breath breathing, my box breathing, my alpha breathing, my Wim Hof breathing, whatever breathing method you do. But it's really important that it's deep because the lower 1/3 of your lungs absorbs 2/3 of the oxygen. And that's a brain tip for a lot of people. When they're working on their computers and they're slumped down, they're collapsing their diaphragm in their lungs, so they're not getting the oxygen. I make a brain power smoothie, and I put my favorite brain foods in there. And some of my top 10 favorite brain foods are things like avocados, things like blueberries. I call them brain berries. They're very neuroprotective. Green leafy vegetables, coconut oil, dark chocolate, great for your brain. Because anything that's good for your mood generally is going to be good for your mind. I put them all into a smoothie, I mix it up, and then I do some reading. That's where my work time comes in, because leaders are readers. That's one of my success habits. Everybody has to read for about 30 minutes a day. Do something physical and do something mental every single day. Care for your brain, because you could change your brain, you could change your life.
That's awesome. Now, for more about Jim Kwik, simply search YouTube and be sure to visit his website, jimkwik.com. You can get the YouTube video transcript of 10 morning habits geniuses use to jumpstart the brain at Jim's website and or Amazon.com. And remember, as the late great Jim Rohn used to say, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Today you've been hanging out with Jim Kwik. Keep up the momentum. Subscribe to our newsletter so you never miss another episode. We'll catch you on the next show. And thanks a million for listening. See ya.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Expect Success Podcast with your host, George Bollick. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please rate, subscribe, and review. And find more great content online at georgebollick.com and on Facebook and Twitter at George Bollick. We'll catch you next time. And remember, don't just expect success, prepare for it.